Honestly, I have no idea how to start this video. I know Regular Show, you know Regular Show, most of Gen Z knows Regular Show, and even my mom to some extent knows it as The Regular Show. We all get what it's about, so instead of just describing it in boring detail, just watch these clips from Regular Show alongside this very fitting Simpsons audio.
You want a realistic, down-to-earth show that's completely off the wall and swarming with magic robots.
Okay, to be completely fair, a lot of media could be described with this clip, like these series, but that's just because we like this kind of stuff. It creates a great balance of the outlandish fantasy stuff that hooks us in and keeps us watching with more relatable slice-of-life type of stuff that gets us attached to the characters we love, and perhaps makes us think just a little.
And now, a regular look at Regular Show.
You think he wants me to put the hurt on him?
Yes, I do!
Regular Show. It's anything but new.
I am not sure why, but there's just something about this promo that like really sticks with me. Like, I asked a friend back at the start of high school, like, you remember that one promo from Regular Show? And he's like, you mean the one where they go, Regular Show, it's anything but? And I was like, yeah, that's the one. It was like, it worked. It's very much something that sticks with you, and I like that about it. Shit, wait, I'm getting off course. Okay, so we come for the elements of fiction, but stay for the characters and their conflict. That's just kind of what I'm getting at. Regular Show, among all the examples I've shown today, is one of the best at doing this, if not the best, maybe. Some of the best episodes of the show are just the ones that involve the characters dealing with some real relatable struggle. Like, the big go-to highlights for people are the Excellent Challenge, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 episode, Rigby's graduation, the whole movie, everything involving Skips' backstory in the final episode, all really good. Even in the more episodic, less grandiose, status quo shifting stories, with that whole element of the absurd mixed with mundane is still extremely huge. And I know a lot of people tend to prefer the more character-driven episodes, one with elements of serialization and huge character revelations, because at its core, Regular Show can be kind of repetitive with how every episode starts out normal and just goes to shit ASAP. It can be really easy to phone it in. To avoid this, the show needs to have some great characters and scenarios for these characters to thrive in and make us actually care for them. Which I think it's pretty successful at, if you've guessed from my tone today. Like, if you were to ask a Regular Show fan what their favorite episode of the show is, it'd probably be something like one of the ones I said today, you know, Excellent Challenge. A great episode, one of my favorites too, but where's the love for the one-off episodes? Like, what the hell? I love the insanely goofy, fun one-off episodes, and I want to talk about two of my favorites. Sorry I lied to you in the title, but I just thought it sounded better. Grave Sites and Rage Against the TV from Season 2. Starting in order of release, we begin with one of Regular Show's most iconic episodes, which I know sounds like I just contradicted myself, but shut up. I just really love this episode. Starts off with Mordecai and Rick
Boner
playing a video game, and after hours and hours, they're so close to beating it. They arrive at the final boss of the game, the Hammer, who promptly whoops their asses. Fortunately, the two figure out his weaknesses to furniture, only for the TV to stop working. After asking the other park employees for help, and some really good comedic bits,
Whoa! Whoa! This is gonna be hilarious!
the park gang get a replacement TV, and at first it doesn't seem to work with the console they have, because the TV's like really old. But after an honestly nice speech from Mordo, the gang whips up something and are able to fight the Hammer, only for the entire city's power to go out and the Hammer.
Dude, take my picture!
The park gang try fighting him, but nothing works. Until they start using the furniture and eventually beat the snot out of him in real life. And finally, they beat him in the game. The setup, honestly, isn't really the most interesting, but god, they just go so hard with it, making it one of the funniest episodes in the entire show with like 15 iconic moments within an 11-minute time span. Like, that's really impressive. I have seen countless memes from this episode, and I understand why. I think my favorite has to be, you know, the obvious Muscle Man getting hit in his nipples into his face, or Muscle Man's friend Jimmy just exploding. Not sure why, but explosions are really funny, and Regular Show is really good at them. Like, the whole step-off scene with the baby ducks. Another good episode, go watch that one. Okay, but getting back to the actual episode, I really like the character dynamics. Even for something as stupid as a game, Mordecai and Rigby are very motivated if it's something they want, and I like that. Another thing about this episode is that every character gets their moment, and it goes to show why people constantly talk and reference these characters online. They also play off each other really well. They're also distinctive and fun and real as hell, despite all being very weird creatures. And they also have some really good voices, like Muscle Man is the obvious standout. I've met like everyone I've known has tried a Muscle Man voice at some point. I do it like on the daily, it's so much fun. You know who else makes mid-tier YouTube videos? Basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm just very glad this episode gave us the Muscle Man getting hit in the face with his own nipples footage, which, believe it or not, has actually been placed in the Smithsonian's animation exhibit for outstanding direction and animation. A decade later, and it's still so iconic. Go watch this episode, it is pretty great. Also, that scene has continuity with the movie.
I know something that you don't. What's that? Always guard your pepperonis.
That one's for free. Okay, what's next? Riot grave sites, okay. Okay, basic premise for this episode is that the park needs money, and Benson is willing to give anyone who comes up with a successful event plan to get money a paid day off. Trademark. Mordecai and Rigby suggest a scary movie night in the park's old abandoned cemetery, which Benson agrees to. Later that night, everything seems to be going on without a hitch until Rigby gets scared, nearly breaking the projector trying to get the movie back on, which they do, causing a zombie uprising and nearly losing their paid day off. Trademark. And if it sounds like I went a little too fast on that episode summary, well, that's basically the typical pace of a regular show episode. But yeah, a simple setup, but it's just so much fun. Unlike the setting up the chairs episode or pizza one, Mordecai and Rigby get to work their magic and do something they love for their job. Doesn't happen often, so it's kind of nice. This also leads to, we know everything about scary movies and you know nothing about scary movies, so we'll save the park with our knowledge of scary movies bit, which is just iconic. And eventually, when all hell breaks loose, you get one of the coolest conflicts for the characters to be in. They have to stop a zombie outbreak without anyone watching the movie know there are zombies. As for why no one notices the zombies except for the main cast, excluding Benson, the movie they put on is a 3D movie, so the audience thinks that the zombies are really good 3D. Unless someone actually gets hurt, which, you know, makes sense. We then get a sick action scene where the characters unknowingly recreate the movie, which is literally just The Evil Dead, shoutouts to Ratman, leading to some sick synchronicity.
Okay, you lousy undead creep.
You've taken a lot from me, but if you think you're gonna deprive me of my
Paid day off.
you're sorely mistaken.
Also, Legend of Korra literally ripped off this scene, so what the hell? Even worse is that it actually ended up being one of the best scenes in that entire show, like... Yikes. I wonder what the Netflix Avatar is going to steal from regular show next. Maybe Aang will go to high school, finally get his diploma or something. Or they'll end up having to fight the Fire Lord in space or something. Oh wait, the writers behind Korra and The Last Airbender aren't working on it anymore. This is really old news, Jesus Christ. Okay, getting back on track. The callback to the sports tournament idea Muscle Man had at the start of the episode was just cool, because seeing the park wreck zombies with discuses and javelins is radder than just seeing them fight with their fist or something. The comedy here is honestly just serviceable, but then again, who am I to judge? It's not good, but not bad either. It has a few moments, like when Skips went for the disrespectful nut shot. Many implications here, since Skips is immortal and likely knew these people. He probably had some beef with that one zombie when he was alive and just went for the dick kick. Second, there was literally no hesitation in that nut shot. He saw him, ran up to him, and kicked him square in the goddamn nuts. Skips tends to be a more respectful fighter from what I've noticed, but not here, and I find that very silly. But since I don't think the humor lands all too well here, like most of regular show, I watched this episode for the characters and the scenario. Like previously, everyone has their moment to shine here, except for Fives, but that's just Fives. I never really liked him, but he's fine. This cast has definitely influenced me and others a lot. Like, how many of y'all learned your first light swear word like pissed or damn from the show?
You fucking dick!
Not me, that was YouTube, but I was still in awe when he said that. Like, those can get away with that? What? and then I discovered Family Guy, and my life went downhill. Regular Show is also directly responsible for me going, whoa! So yeah, that's two. My teacher could definitely tell you all about that. She kind of hates me for that, but it's funny. It's funny. I think it's funny. It's funny. It's funny though. It's funny. This episode sure has that spirit, and at least the episode ends off with a really funny bit.
Yeah.
And you're gonna earn another one because we're doing this again tomorrow night the exact same way.
Do you think we can take that paid day off tomorrow?
Listen, I love the character-focused, really deep episodes, but sometimes I don't want a deep character study. I just want to have a great time, and these episodes are perfect at doing that. Some other great episodes similar in spirit to these two are the Christmas episode, which I really wanted to talk about. Just for the fight scene and song at the end, it's so good. They went way too hard on that. I also suggest the Baby Ducks episode, the my mommy one, Death Bear, that one's good, and the Five Nights at Freddy's one. God, does everyone just rip off Regular Show and get away with it? But yeah, I love Regular Show. I love eating cigarettes. Go watch Regular Show and have a good night. Also, don't forget to drink some water. Please, you're really dehydrated. Like, you know you're supposed to drink more than a single cup of water per day, right? I should really be taking my own advice. I'm gonna go. Fuck. Oh, also, I opened a Ko-Fi a few days ago. And if you want to donate to me, like if you like my videos a lot, you could do it there. Don't feel pressured to though, but I would really appreciate it if you did. Anyways, I'm gonna go get my water.